son decided he wanted to be born a couple weeks early, so I've been at home, spending time with the family, readjusting to life with the newborn, and just enjoying time with my new son. Now today is Father's Day, so I'm going to do what every Blade dad wants to do and go take some personal time, take a couple hours, and go check out a new skate park. But first, caffeine. Alright, so I had filmed a video a couple days ago doing the standard unboxing type of video, revealing my new skates and explaining what parts I was keeping, what parts I was swapping, and why. But most of those clips came out without any audio. So instead, these are my new skates. The USD Sway 57 is what they are marketed as. I have taken off the Kaiser Fluid 5 frames. It's a very interesting frame. I do plan on skating it down the road and comparing it to these, but I swapped those out for the Symmetrics V5 frames, threw the Dead 2 Easy Collab wheels in here, and of course my V2 Intuition liners. Looking forward to trying out a new skate. I've been on Aeons for about 2 years now, and it's just good to shake things up every now and then. And I have really missed the groove on the Symmetrics frames. So looking forward to trying these out today here at this new park. But before we do anything else, there is one last step to setting up and dialing in a new pair of skates. Personally, it's what I think is the most important thing, and that is breaking in a backslide groove. So we're gonna go find some sort of unwaxed or barely waxed concrete ledge in this park and get ourselves a nice groove. These stock grooves are nice, but they are not good enough. Anytime you buy new skates, you are going to want to spend at least 10 minutes or so on a relatively rough ledge and breaking in your own groove on your skates. It is going to help you a ton with getting your groove tricks to lock in better. So let's go take care of that. Alright, so I've been skating the Sways for about an hour and a half now, and they feel great. Different than the Aeons, definitely a different skate. A lot more room vertically in the toe box than with Aeons, which is really nice. It was never really an issue for me, but it is nice to have a little extra room to lift your toes up and down. The sole plates are considerably faster than Aeons. One interesting thing, I knew that the cuff was riveted on, but the sole plate is actually riveted on with this model of Sway. But that's no problem. If they wear out, you just drill the rivets out and replace them with some hardware. But yeah, good sole plate. The backslide groove is finally starting to break in. I need to find a little better curve to break it in on, but it's wearing in. Groove tricks are feeling great. Sole tricks feel great. The only other thing I really notice is the cuff has a bit more forward flex than with Aeons. Laterally, there's plenty of support, but forward, backward, it is a little softer, a little more flex forward than with Aeons. But other than that, great feeling skate. Been a long time since I have skated a raised heel skate, but didn't really even notice it. It hasn't been an issue yet, so yeah, they feel great. I just wasted a ton of energy on 3 tricks though. Spent about an hour and a half. Well, spent about 30 minutes trying 3 tricks there. So I'm gonna throw my skates back on and try to get a trick on every obstacle in the park. Nothing too crazy, but just want to hit everything at least once and then pop over to the bowl and play around in that. It has been a long time since I have had access to a good, interesting bowl to skate. So let's throw the skates back on and get to it. Alright, so I lied. It is way too hot for me to hit everything, and I'm still going through the adjustment period of new skates, so things are taking a little longer than they normally would. So, gonna have to come back to hit everything, but for now, just snag a couple more tricks and then get on out of here. It is incredibly hot today, and it is exhausting to skate. There is zero shade inside the park, so snag a little shade under the tree and grab a little water, and we'll finish this thing off. Alright, it is a few days later. That session ended kind of abruptly. It was a scorching hot day. It's about 95 degrees, and there was absolutely no shade at that park, so I packed up and went home and forgot to film an outro for that video. But here we are a couple days later, and wanted to talk about my first impressions of the USD Sway 57. All around, solid skate. I think it's going to be great for all skill levels. It is a really solid feeling skate. Pretty good power transfer. Like I said, the cuff has really good support side to side. The one thing I did notice was a lot of forward flex. When I originally laced them up, I didn't lace through this top eyelet, and it really started flexing forward on me. So I ran my laces through the top eyelet in here, and then ran the same laces up through the eyelets of my liner. And once I did that, it was a more reasonable amount of forward flex. Still more than an Aeon, if you're familiar with the flex in Aeons, but a lot more manageable. I didn't feel like I was just going to fold over forwards or anything, which was a feeling I had originally when I had them laced up. Only things I'd like to see changed on this skate, it'd be great if the sole plate hardware was hardware, not rivets. I know this is like a beginner's skate as far as it's marketed, but it would just be nice if the soles were a little easier to change out. Of course, you can always drill rivets out and add hardware in there, but it'd be nice if they came from the factory with hardware. Of course, I know that's a cost-saving measure, so it takes it out of its price point, but that would be a nice upgrade. The riveted cuff bolts don't bother me at all. I personally never really change cuffs, but I know there are people who would love to see that. The only other thing I would really say you should change out on this skate is the liner. The stock liner that comes in these is not very comfortable. It's similar to the basic Aeon liner. It's a more of a standard puffy liner, and maybe that's your style, but it adds a bunch of bulk inside of this boot, And I'm a size 9.5, and I can ride the 42 shell with my with a thinner liner in these. And with that stock liner, my foot doesn't even fit inside of this skate. So I definitely recommend going to a thinner liner and trying to downsize in these skates a little bit. You can get away with going down about a size to a size and a half in these things. So definitely worth, I mean, not necessarily intuitions, but looking at something like a MyFit Second Skin or Rain V2 or V3, something like that. Definitely be worth the money if you're looking into getting these skates. Now, the things that I love about these skates, reason I skate USDs, I really love their backslide plates. I think they line up perfectly with the frames for the way that I stand on my groove tricks. Didn't quite get mine broken in as much as I would have liked to. I'm going to need to take them to another curve on my next session before I really start feeling comfortable on them. I was definitely holding back during that session. Just with new skates, it takes some time to break them in and get comfortable on a new setup, but still loved the way they felt. It felt really solid on any groove tricks. And like I said, the sole plates are really fast. I always like USD's buckles, the nice aluminum buckles. And the other thing that I think is awesome as a beginner price point skate, the fact that they come set up flat with this Fluid 5 frame. Now, I've yet to skate this frame, but holding it up next to the Symmetrics, it's actually a pretty similar dimension. The only thing are these lips for wheel bite protection. Personally, I think it's unnecessary. I think if they made the groove a little bit shallower and then just kept the frame wall the same height all the way around instead of having this lip, personally, I think that would be better. But I'll find out down the road when I test those out. Definitely plan on doing that and comparing them to the Symmetrics frames. Very different price point on those two products, so interested to see how the two of them compare. But I think for a beginner looking for a first skate, starting out flat is awesome. I am a big fan of prioritizing learning to skate over learning to grind when you first get into the sport. Of course, everyone wants to learn how to do 360 top soles on kink rails, but none of that means very much if you can't actually skate. So to give a kid a pair of skates that actually feel good rolling around, that are actually fun and maneuverable, and you can feel stable on, to get them hooked on the sport, and then if they decide to, they can take the middle wheels out, throw some anti-rockers in there, and prioritize grinding later. That's all great. That's how I came up through the sport, and I think that's a really good way to start, is giving somebody 8 wheels down and let them decide to take the wheels out instead of just having every skate come stock as an anti-rocker setup. But yeah, overall, happy with the first session on these skates. Can't wait to get back out and get more comfortable on them. Definitely going to spend some time trying to make sure I still have all my normal tricks on these things during the next session and work on getting my grooves broken in a little better. But until next time, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Bye.